Call this meeting to order, please. Please have all your cell phones off or on silent. Roll call, please.
Schutz.
Yeah.
Peeler.
Here.
Irvin.
Here.
Fitzgerald.
Here.
Herrick.
Yes.
Patel.
Here. Please stand for the prayer. Let us pray, Lord, that we serve your people in public office may have your blessings and guidance in our deliberations and decisions, so that what we accomplish here this evening be just and beneficial to the people we serve. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, reading and approval of minutes.
Tammy's not here. She's a little sick, so I don't have access to her minutes.
Any petitions and communications?
We do have. Yes.
He can go first, but I do have something I want to read into the record.
We do have, we do have 3 words.
Ordinances, we'll deal with those when ordinances come up.
You got a little bit,
He just repeated it.
What Jody, would you want to?
I have something I'd like to read into the record. My name is Jody Lynn Fitzgerald, and I reside at 722 Wilson Avenue. I'm in my 4th year representing the people of this village on council. In June, it was brought to my attention by a village employee that what they felt might have been a misappropriation of funds to a part-time park employee who was also a village councilman. I concluded after speaking with several people who were familiar with what was going on that I would need to share the information that I was given in an executive session setting with my fellow councilmen. I am not free to discuss anything that was discussed in executive session, therefore, unfortunately, some facts will not be shared here today. Had this situation been brought to council before this hiring occurred, it could have been discussed, addressed, and a solution been found. I stand firm in my opinion that an ethics investigation will show that a violation of ORC 731.12 has occurred. For those saying political motivation is why we are discussing, I would say that ethics and doing what is right are the driving factors. If I am worried about political ramifications of choosing between what is right and what is wrong, then I do not deserve to be sitting at this table or in this seat. I want to take a moment to read section 731.12 into the record as well. Qualifications of members of village legislative authority. Each member of the legislative authority of the village shall have resided in the village 1 year immediately preceding the member's election and shall be an elector of the village. No member of the legislative authority shall hold any other public office, be interested in any contract with the village, or hold employment with said village, except that such member may be a notary public, a member of the state militia, or a volunteer fireman of that village, of said village, provided that such member shall not receive any compensation for his services as a volunteer fireman of the village, in addition to his regular compensation as a member of the legislative authority. Any member who ceases to possess any such qualifications or who removes from the village shall forfeit the member's office. The purposing of establishing a 1 year residency requirement in this section is to recognize the state has a substantial and compelling interest in encouraging qualified candidates for election to the office of member of the legislative authority of a village by ensuring that the candidate shall, for such office, have every opportunity to become knowledgeable and with concern about problems and needs in the area the candidate seeks to represent. Enacting this requirement, the General Assembly finds that the 1 year period is reasonable related to this purpose while leaving unimpaired the person's right to travel, vote, and be a candidate for public office. Thank you. 731.12 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Okay, I'd like to take this time to, I'd like council to put a resolution in to honor Darlene Hoff, who just passed away at 100 years old. She was a long-time business owner in Mingo and lived in Mingo. She owned the Hoff Funeral Home for many years and was very active in the village. She was awarded the Outstanding Citizen in the year 2000, and she was always around, and she was a very, like I say, liked person. Yeah. Another, I'd like to send our sympathy to another business owner in Mingo, Christina Maines, who owned a townhouse over here, who fought a long battle with cancer. And I never seen somebody who was so bright and chipper until her final days. She was always laughing, and you know, and she never gave up. And she passed away this past Saturday. Another thing, I hope all you people remember tomorrow what date it is. 9/11. Take a moment out, think about it, what you were doing on that day. I know exactly what I was doing. Nearly 3,000 people died on that day 18 years ago, September 11th, 2001. At 8:46 a.m., the first plane hit the tower. So at that time, please take a moment. Another, I like to say, the senior swim will be over Saturday, their last day, and he'd like me to just put this on. How much they enjoyed this swimming up there, how nice the park looked, and I told them, I said, if we didn't have repairs to it, that we would keep it open longer for them, but we're going to do some repairs again. So that is our shining spot of the village, and they really enjoyed themselves. Every day you go up there, they're laughing, having a good time, and you know, I try to make it down there as much as I can, and it's something that they really enjoyed, and they want me to pass that on. Okay, Bob, anything from you?
Nothing. No. Okay, as you see, the roads are complete. You know, I really wasn't satisfied with the quality of the roads out there. I actually had someone else come down and take a look at them, who's a friend of mine, who's an engineer. You know, this individual basically stated, you know, it's complete. It's not the greatest quality, but it's complete. So not much we can do about that. I'm still arguing with how, you know, some of the things are going on right now. They got chips laying around. They have not come to clean everything up. They haven't sealed the roads yet, and they tried to seal it over some gravel and things like that. But, you know, we'll try to get as much money back from them as I possibly can. But, you know, the roads are complete. But it was a long, you know, it was a long haul, I'll tell you that. I'm not going to say we won't ever think about hiring them again, but I know that we'll be very careful if we hire them next time around. Just not very satisfied with what went on. Still working on codifying the ordinances. Still trying to request from you folks to purchase that truck. I tracked down who owned the contract for state purchasing, and I think we're working a deal right now as far as being able to get that truck purchased through state purchasing, so we don't have to go out to bid. It is a very good deal. I mean, I talked to Freightliner, who has similar trucks like that, probably $30,000–40,000 more. So it is a very good deal. We have the money to take out of the 3 different areas, and you know, we're not buying somebody else's problems. So pool to close. I said Sunday. You're done for Saturday, right, Mayor?
Yeah.
We'll drain that. We'll caulk the stainless steel liner. I know that we're losing quite a bit of water probably through that liner, so we're gonna caulk all that up. May install a drainage pipe for the baseball fields. We're working with those folks over there. They are really working hard. As I stated here before, you know, I want to see kids over there playing again. You know, I think that's a great thing for this village. I remember as a kid, had a lot of good memories over there, and I'm hoping that we can help them as much as possible to make that place look as nice as possible, so we attract a lot of people down. And that's one of the main reasons I actually chip and sealed that road around there too, again, because, you know, that's right there where the fields are at. We continue to paint curbs. We got to repair a water line break on Frank Street. John Watt painted control box up there, right across from where I live. It really does look nice. It enhances the curb appeal. You have to purchase a couple plows. Also this year they're about $5,000 a piece. Like I said, we have the funding for that. The benefit for the cancer patient, I don't know the individual's name. I forget. I saw it.
Braden.
Brandon.
Braden Tipton?
Brandon Tipton. I hope folks can turn out. I'll be out of town that day, but I'm hoping people can turn out for that. I'm sure that Spinning Jennings and U.S. Kids will bring. Well, U.S. Kids was kind of disappointing. You guys were up there, you were up there. Kind of disappointing, but
I think they're
hopefully
gonna
get the
have
word
a
out.
nice crowd.
Yeah, I think we will. I think it'll be very nice.
It's from 2 to 8 on Saturday.
Okay.
Sunday, the 15th.
I still continue to answer the queries for our art grant. You know, it's sitting over in DC, so they keep asking questions, but I'm pretty sure that we're providing them the information they request. So hopefully we'll be seeing that soon. The insurance agent, as a matter of fact, I got the write up here. And the insurance agent was down through, and he usually hits us for our playgrounds or stuff like that. But I don't think we have really any write ups. We got a SOG, whatever that. What's a SOG?
SOGs.
SOG. What is a SOG?
Standard operating.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know what that was. Fire department are suggested. That's the only comment he has for you guys. And hydrogen float tests are suggested also. So he has no other write-up in here, which is kind of surprising. He usually hits us for our incinerator. You know, that's the last word. Come on, help me out here. Stack. Here you go, stack. But he's not going to cite us for that anymore. I don't know why. He just said he's not going to. Maybe he just got tired of citing us. I don't know. But he said he's not going to cite us. But this guy went over and he said, I want to thank you, Timmy, John, and Wayne for taking me the time, risk control visit, and continued safety improvements in the village. I want to especially thank and commend Timmy for the improvements noted in the parks. I want to thank, he didn't say Jack, but I thank you, Jack. Impressive as a result of my visit. He actually went out of his way to go shake his hand because he thought the park looked so nice this time around, honestly. So that's good kudos for us. Advertisement for the bidders should be in the paper Thursday or Friday for our CSO project, so we're moving along. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Bob. Jack, is there anything from you?
Now I gave everybody the copy of the budget, so looks like we're doing pretty good. The payroll 70% expense, all expenses about 67%, so we'll break through 2/3 of the year right on. Revenue through 8 out of 12 months, 67%, so everything's good right now. Knock on.
Thank you.
I have to say I had a report from Wayne, and I lost it.
I got it here, Bob.
Oh, okay, there. I asked you, Mayor. I said, hey, where's it at?
Who's got it?
So I'm going to sneak back in here. Some of this stuff, maybe I'm going to tell him to cut down a little bit here. Sprockets order for thickener at Gibson bearing. You guys interested in that?
Good to know.
Dave Benzel will come in next week for repairs. That's interesting because Dave Benzel helps us out a lot. And he's very cheap with the work he does. Met with Denise and went over delinquent reports, paying after the higher active accounts, working on a condensed version of water shutoff policy to hand out to prospective customers. George went through the list and is going to place 24-hour notice on the properties, waiting on a return call from Governmental Systems to get some direction to order property and categorize delinquent accounts. I've been going around and around with old Doug at Governmental Systems about things. First of all, he said you can't archive the houses are vacant, which you can, okay, as long as you don't wipe the bill out. But I'm going to tell you right now, doesn't matter. We're not going to get any of that money back anyhow. Because what will happen, somebody will buy that property, and I can't charge them for it.
Can we put a lien on the property?
No, and the only way you put a lien on a property is if you know that bill was made by the owner. If it was made by the renter, you can't put a lien on the property. So it's pretty tough to determine sometimes. So the other thing is like I sent a letter out to the Board of Realtors saying, hey, if you're going to buy property in Mingo, check with us. And if you're going to sell property in Mingo, because we have a lot of properties that have these high water bills. I don't think one realtor has contacted us when they sell property, not one. So I tried. I put it out probably a year and a half ago. Lead and copper consumer notices delivered to consumers. Report sent to OPEA 9619. Second round of lead and copper testing begin this week. Replace the lead service line, which is discovered on South Commercial Avenue. I'm fighting about that because that wasn't our fault. Somebody hit it down there. Our guys had to do overtime to fix it, so I'm fighting with the county a little bit. The county always helps me out, so I'm not going to fight real hard. All grass cut at the water plant, broken wiring repaired, and flag light replaced at the water plant. Grabbed a level mercury compliance sample at sewer plant, final effluent with Mr. Waugh. Met with Mr. Boyd of Public Entities of Pool of Ohio for biennial survey, and began metering the south end of system on September 4th. So that was Wayne's report.
Well, can I get a copy of that?
I certainly, well, as a matter of fact, you can have this copy.
Hey, Bob, yeah, you forgot one thing. That company's coming in tomorrow to clean up.
Well, that's what they said.
Yeah, they'll be in the,
We'll see if they show up.
they,
The pavers?
scheduled to be here tomorrow. Logan, Murdoch, I think they're,
Yeah.
that they told you, or just mentioned, all the piles that are sitting around, they are supposed to be here tomorrow. So, the signs are up on Logan, no parking. So, hopefully they will come back and, make good on what they're doing. So, we did Wayne's report there, Bob,
Yeah.
thank you. I see, Police Chief back there. Joe, you have anything?
Yes, we did order the body cameras, or not the $9,000 I originally quoted, we got it for about $6,250. Saved a lot of money on, storage. I'm talking to Cal now on what we were gonna do in-house storage in the computer system and server system. It's a lot cheaper, instead of paying $750 a year for, licensing to store 1 terabyte and administrative fees to have the access to it. Officer McKenzie's coming off of probation, 2 more days, so all our officers will be off of probation within this month. They'll be all full-time, probationary period. The cruiser will be in probably around October or November. The holdup is, we're waiting for Santina to, put the car, they have to make different cages and seats for it, because apparently Ford did change the body style. And also, I know a couple weeks ago, or a month ago, I asked about Detective Division. I asked several council council members if they're looking to see if we can fund it. We got $17,000 in for right now. We had an incident, we're doing a child abuse case. I know some councilmen went to ask why we need a Detective Division. Well, we bring a BCI agent in to help us handle a child abuse case. Meantime, he said he got a call, he had to go into Beanie and Progress in the 700 block of Commercial Street. That's the advantage of having a detective division, because there's cases we have to follow that are very important cases. Now, here's the BCI agent coming out of Youngstown to sit there and help us. He said, we already got 12 subpoenas and search warrants on this case. And he had to sit there for an hour, because our officer got to answer Beanie in Progress. That's why I'm asking, plus we have a drug problem. Our department, like I said, police department operates a little different than what the service, the fire, and everybody else. They get a call, they're pretty much done with it. We get a call, we gotta do follow-ups, we got leads investigation to do, and that's the importance of a detective to do. That's his assignment. To follow up on what investigation we have to do. If we don't have none, then we'll put him on the road and fill in terms for the vacations. And extra do, we do officer safety. They can be assigned to the drug task force in Steubenville to help them out, to help us out with our drug problem down here. But we got armed robbery we're trying to follow up on, we got sex abuse cases we're trying to follow up on. We got evidence room down there, it's a mess. We do finally got it cleared out because of the flooding. For my little 5-man department, we're doing a heck of a job. And I asked you, and I've been asking, the citizens of Mingo Junction voted for a levy, for 1% levy, to put a detective division on. Some of the money's coming in, all I'm asking you to see if we can afford to fund it and start it back up again. That's all I have to say, Mayor. Thank you for your time.
Thanks. Hey, Joe, you
Yes,
said
sir.
the cameras are $6,250. Is that each or all of them?
No, that's all. That's a service. That's everything. 5, yes.
5 of them?
Yes. That's off the top of my head because I didn't bring my keys. I had my daughter's volleyball game. But yeah, but we did save, actually, we saved almost $15,000 because we don't have to pay the $3,000 a year contract fee. We only have $450 a year for that, for the redaction. So if somebody news wants it, we have to redact something, we already got the capability to do that all in-house. Yes, all in-house. So,
All right, thanks.
you're welcome.
Council can take that into consideration and think about it, and we can go from there. Chief Wright, you have anything?
Yeah, a couple things. First of all, I'd like to recognize Chief Sagan's officer, John Mariner. We had a patient that was in the bottom of a commercial building with a serious injury. It was difficult getting him out of there. He heard it on a scanner that we were paging out for additional help, and he came down off duty to assist us. So I'd like to recognize John Mariner for his assistance there. Second, I don't know if I need to get council's approval for it to go buy the command vehicle that was passed on the levy. The funding is in the account. We brought in $117,000 in the first 2 installments. If we continue to bring in that amount, it'll bring in $468,000, which is right about what we estimated for the levy. We estimated $40,000 for the vehicle, and I actually found one for under state purchasing, a Ford F-150 brand new for $35,000. They have it sitting on the lot up there now. We have roughly $45,000 carryover right now also in the EMS fund. There's $20,000 there now, and I have 2 months of transfers to give to Kim. One $12,000, one $13,000. So we're in good shape on the EMS account. So I don't know if I need council's approval to do it, being it was passed with the levy.
Do state cooperative purchasing? Yeah. Just to authorize you to use state cooperative purchasing.
And again, it's under state purchasing, so sticker price on that vehicle is almost $48,000. And we're getting it for $35,000 under state purchasing.
Mayor,
Yes.
I make a motion that we purchase that truck. The money's there.
Yes.
And also the current truck we have, the white one, is on its last leg. It needs full exhaust. It's got a coolant leak. It's got an alternator problem. The window crank on the driver's side is broken. I got to use my hand to slap the window up and down. It's got all kinds of issues.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Herrick, seconded by George.
Bertel,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Urban,
Yes.
Peeler,
Yes.
Schutz.
Yes.
But John, what's gonna be the intent of the new truck though? What exactly is it?
That'll be the chief's command vehicle. I'll drive it, not all the time. I won't be taking it home, but there will be times I take it home. But it's a chief's command vehicle.
But you do still go on highway details,
Yeah, it'll be used for
anything like
that.
that there?
Yes, yes, it will be
Just
used for
coming up
that.
with it, I think me and Joe talked about today, John, I mean, people putting rubbish out beginning of the month when they know rubbish is the last Tuesday of the month. What is the solution to go and cite these people?
I don't have the police department
I
issue
do
there,
that.
correct?
We've been dealing with that, Mayor.
You know, I go up Logan Avenue, there's a couch, there's chairs, there's mattresses from the day one. And, I mean, we gotta get the owner of them apartments, they just think that Mingo's gonna pick up anything they want. I heard today there's people bringing garbage from out of town, putting it in garages, and then when it's their pickup, they're putting it out.
Wow.
There's something that has to be done about this.
I mean, that's police
If we
department,
if we
correct.
catch these people doing it, something's gonna be done about, there's gonna be high fines. You know, the littering is out of control in this town, where people are just throwing things, one up out Route 7, one up a Clister. That's one of my peeves I hate, and Jimmy could tell you this every day. I tell him, go pick up trash, go pick up trash. And he knows that's my peeve. If I find anybody, you find anybody throwing anything out, take their license plate number down. We'll take it in and, you know, what we can do.
On that one, I'm thinking, Mayor, I told you, we got the statements today from the witnesses. We got the statement from the village, the report will be done. Ernie will review it, I'll take it to the prosecutor's office. We did in the past, we charged them with littering.
That's
We
what
have
I
no problem with doing it.
I hate littering.
Individuals that live outside of village limits bring their trash in, they truck their trash in and they set it out, because within our people will take it. And it's also the businesses are being abused as well. People will take trash bags down to either anywhere there's a dumpster, say the car
Dollar
wash, I've
store.
seen it at the dollar store, and Hill School is another one, the back of the junior high. People pull all the way back there and dump their trash into the
If
schools.
we can identify
schools
any
dumpsters.
mail or anything in that trash, we can cite them for that.
Yes, we have no problem. I mean, business got to notify us, and we will have no
I'll try
problem
to get
looking
the
at
plates
trash.
next time, yeah.
And we'll
I mean, I just stand there and stare at the people, it's like, come on.
And
Yeah.
our
The police department just did it, and I
Or
mean,
high
we'll
weeds.
do it. We have to be
Yeah.
notified.
And there's
Not as much as I'd like to, but just a matter of personnel and time in between calls.
There's a lot of cigarette butts and garbage being thrown out in the mulch in front of this building too. I don't know
And
if
there's
it's.
an ashtray sitting right there.
Yeah, there's a butt can there and people just aren't using it. So please, if you see somebody throw it's in the litter lock, cite them.
If somebody leaves an apartment, and just throws all their crap out because they got evicted or moved, and we go after the landlord, or cite them, if we're picking up this stuff at the end of the month, they're throwing it out on the 5th of the month, and we
I
sit
always,
there.
I mean, I told them, and I think Timmy did in the past, they pick it up and we send them a heck of a bill for it.
To the landlord or the
Yeah,
tenant?
to the landlord, I tell the landlord, you have to buy a dumpster. They get mad at it, you don't put a dumpster out, then you leave it. If Timmy picks it up, I believe Timmy bills them, right, Bob?
I haven't seen a bill come through yet. I have
I mean,
not.
'cause that's what we tell them, because we get that landlord wants to move out, you either gotta clean it up, we usually give them a couple of days to get it cleaned up, get a dumpster, or if Timmy cleans up, the village bills them for cleaning it up.
I always tell them it's excessive for them to just get a dumpster, don't even pick it up. Don't even pick it up. Tell these guys to go get it canned or whatever. Because they'll empty the whole house out and, you know, expect us to pick it up.
Anything else, John? Yes, George?
As far as that, we passed an ordinance last year. Is the ordinance working? Is it not working? Should we go back and rework that, retool it, or is it not being
Enforced.
administered correctly? Can we modify where we stand?
We're getting a lot of people moving in, moving out, so a lot of them not familiar with the, when we pick up trash, a lot of them not familiar that you have to be the, mattress gotta be in bags. But once we tell them, they're getting better at it, you know what I mean, their citizens are learning more because a lot of them aren't aware of us, it's online, look at the ordinance online before you do something. They do it a second time, we sign them, usually the first time we try to warn them, because they've just moved into Mingo, they're not aware of it, get it off, put it back on your property, get the, put it in bags, we pick up the trash the last Tuesday of the month, that's the only time we pick it up.
Can we
Getting
send
better at
out,
it, but it just, some of them just move in, they just empty the stuff out on the street.
Mark, can you please put that in again, the trash, rubbish day is the last Tuesday of the month, not before.
can we send out a reminder with the water bill? Is that possible?
I don't know, Bob, can you?
I don't know if you can put anything on there, but we'll see.
That's all I have there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
got something for John. Jody, Lynn and I, we had a meeting last night with the revitalization committee. And we've come to a conclusion about Dollar General. We feel that the people up there, you know, we've gone up there, we've cleaned up there. We've also been inside, it's a fire hazard. They have I know maybe they don't have the workers to keep putting the stuff in the shelves, but they have all over every row, there is stuff that needs to be put up in the shelves that are blocking the walkways through there. People have to set their baskets down, go through there, get what they want, make our way back out. I myself, Jody Lynn, we've been on their cases. We've had the corporate people call.
So they're leaving it there for extended periods of time?
Yes.
Just not
And
stacking it and
if there's a
stocking
fire
shelves?
in that place, those people, you're gonna have a hard time getting out.
We could say the
We'll go
same
up
thing
tomorrow.
about our hallway during social services pickup too.
Yes, and that's been brought to my attention by the state fire marshal who was here and witnessed it.
You mean
You
about
can't,
Yeah.
you can't walk through the
About-
halls.
Yeah, stuff in the hallways
Right.
during the social services, we shouldn't be doing it there.
Well-
I suggested putting it in the basement.
Or maybe the senior center or something, but it,
I mean, the fire marshal turned a blind eye to it the first time, he comes in the next time, it's gonna be me getting my rear end chewed.
But I would hope that you would go up to Dollar General and tell them that they have to clear those hallways out, because if you get a fire in there, there are people, there's no way they're getting out of there.
We'll go up there tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
If not, we're gonna call.
Kyle, you have
corporate.
anything on IT?
Yeah.
No, the chief already mentioned we're working on the cameras for the patrol officers. Get a computer, a server, hook it all up for him. It's just something in progress.
Okay,
It's gonna
thank
save a lot of money.
All right, thanks. Jazz, you wanna go anything on finance, which you said already on the committee? And everything's in decent shape?
Yeah.
Yes, George?
Just a little inquiry. I know last time I talked to Kim, she said everything on our side was now good as far as Checkbook Ohio. Any update from them
I
guys?
saw, I clicked on the computer and it's up. I
Is it-
assume it's running.
Is it functional?
I looked, I didn't really look at it real hard, just saw the icon and clicked on it and put better stuff in.
on our village website,
Just find a link yet. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like a demo that's not live yet, or is it?
I don't know.
I haven't heard anything. That's
I just
why.
happened to see that, so I clicked on it to see, but I can't remember what was all on it.
Usually the state treasurer sends out a press release
Yeah.
when something, the community goes
It
live.
might just be the
Yeah.
guts of it, and it has to be, pulled in from the outside. But it looks like the framework is up and ready to go.
That's positive. Good. All right.
Okay, Adam, anything on ordinance?
Yes, Mayor, we have a few ordinances tonight. I believe the first, they were also handed out, so everyone should have copies. Although I believe the first one we need to deal with is the third reading for ordinance 2019-17. I think we gave it its second reading last meeting. We have to give it its third and final reading and do a vote for ordinance 2019-17. And that's an ordinance establishing regular meeting dates for the council of the village of Mingo Junction. Yeah, that's the third reading, so you can make a motion to adopt it.
Make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 2019-17.
Yes.
Second. Eric.
Yes?
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Irvin.
Yes.
Peeler.
Yes.
Schutz.
Yes.
Rattell.
Yes.
That was the third reading, right?
Yes. Okay, then getting into the ordinances for tonight, we begin with ordinance 2019-24. It's an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Trey Bell LLC for energy consulting and management services for village and declaring an emergency.
Mayor?
That's it.
I move that a rule requiring an ordinance to be read by title only on 3 separate occasions be dispensed with. An ordinance number 2019-24 be given its second and third reading at this time by title only and placed before this council for its final passage or rejection.
Second?
Now you want to second my writing sucks. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Irvin.
Yes.
Peeler.
Yes.
Schutz.
Yes.
Rattell.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
Okay. All right, second reading ordinance 2019-24, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Trey Bell LLC for energy consulting and management services for village and declaring an emergency.
Mayor?
Yes.
I move that a rule requiring
One
an
more reading.
ordinance. Huh?
One more
Third,
reading.
third reading, ordinance
You're going third
2019-24, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Trey Bell LLC for energy consulting and management services for village and declaring an emergency. Go ahead, Coach.
Now I make a motion that ordinance 2019-24 be adopted at this time.
Second?
Irvin.
Yes.
Peeler.
Yes.
Schutz.
Yes.
Rattell.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes?
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
All right, moving along to the next one, ordinance 2019-25. An ordinance authorizing the village to purchase an international 2019 515 SFA 4x4 vehicle for the use of the service, water, and wastewater departments from Rush Enterprises under the State of Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program and declaring an emergency.
Mayor? I move that a rule requiring an ordinance to be read by title only on 3 separate occasions be dispensed with. An ordinance number 2019-25 be given its second and third reading at this time by title only and placed before this council for its final passage or rejection.
Yes. Second. Peeler.
Yes.
Schutz.
Yeah.
Rattell.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Irvin.
Yes.
All right. Second reading ordinance 2019-25, an ordinance authorizing the village to purchase an international 2019 515 SFA 4x4 vehicle for the use of the service, water, and wastewater departments from Rush Enterprises under the State of Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program and declaring an emergency. Third and final reading ordinance 2019-25, an ordinance authorizing the village to purchase a 2019 International 515 SFA 4x4 vehicle for the use of the service, water, and wastewater departments from Rush Enterprises under the State of Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program and declaring an emergency.
Mayor, I move that ordinance 2019-25 be adopted at this time.
Second?
Schutz.
Yes.
Rattell.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes?
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Irvin.
Yes.
Peeler.
Yes.
Before you read, can I speak a little about this one?
Yeah, we have a third and final, another ordinance for tonight, ordinance 2019-26, and Councilman Irvin would like to kind of give some background information on this before we enter in.
Fear not, I'll be brief. This is just GB Green Team. As you may have known if you've read any of the reports and stuff in the past few meetings, actually the past few years, been looking to purchase or construct a facility in Jefferson County literally for the past few years. And there's a location that was found at the industrial park, and numbers came back, weren't quite looking for, so now there's a building out there that's now available. The only issue is inside the big plan, which was ratified back in 2015, there was nothing in there allowing for specifically the purchase of such a big facility to keep the trucks inside the winter and things like that. So what this does, it kind of gives communities a chance to show approval for the amending of that plan to allow GB Green Team to continue in the process to get that building and move away from renting and indeed keep the trucks inside in winter to help maintenance and things like that.
What building did you get?
I don't know who actually owns it. It's
Was
the,
it
it's the
building?
blue one out there.
Was it
It's
full
blue.
building?
It's blue.
Is it, when you're driving, when you turn onto the
Yeah.
street, is it on the right or the left?
You turn down in and you go down near the little cul-de-sac in. It's that blue one right there. Yeah. Pretty sure that's the one. Because originally we had that one plot of land right there, but of course the specs came back a little bit, well, way over what we originally thought was going to be priced. So when this one came up for sale as a possibility, it makes more sense, and I think that's the route we're going to be good.
So you're not looking for funding from us or anything?
No. The funding's all there.
Okay.
We have more than enough funding. This is just to appropriate those funds for this set purpose. So no change to anything like that. It'll actually, save us money long term as constituents and citizens in that the things will be kept inside, lower maintenance costs and whatnot. And of course, they'll have to pay rent and such also over time. So that's what that is. Sorry.
No problem. And with that, we'll give the, do you need 3 readings tonight? or-
Due to the timeline, this originally was sent to us back in July. I don't know what happened to our copy of it. So I got a copy here now, and because of the timeline, they need to hear back by the 15th, and it's
Okay.
now the 10th.
Right.
So
Understood. Okay, first reading ordinance 2019-26, an ordinance approving the amended budget of the solid waste management plan of the Jefferson Belmont Regional Solid Waste Authority.
Mayor,
Yes.
I move that a rule requiring an ordinance to be read by title only on 3 separate occasions be dispensed with, and ordinance number 26 be given its second and third reading at this time by title only and placed before this council for its final passage or rejection.
Riddell.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes?
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Irvin.
should I abstain? Because I'm on the board for that.
No.
Okay. Yes.
Mueller.
Yes.
Shoot.
Yes.
Okay. Second reading ordinance 2019-26, an ordinance approving the amended budget of the solid waste management plan of Jefferson Belmont Regional Solid Waste Authority. Reading number 3, ordinance 2019-26, an ordinance approving the amended budget of the solid waste management plan of the Jefferson Belmont Regional Solid Waste Authority.
Mayor, I move that ordinance 2019-26 be adopted at this time.
Second.
Eric.
Yes?
Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Irvin.
Yes.
Mueller.
Yes.
Shoot. Riddell.
Yes.
I got a question. Since this is in a different format, without having the year on here, will this have to be?
Oh, I should just.
We just write it in there?
Yeah.
You mean the, on the number? Yeah,
Yeah,
you
just
just
right.
have the year, it's 2019 dash.
Okay.
26.
Look at that.
That's that blue.
That's all as far as the ordinances tonight, Mayor, that's all.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Jody, anything on safety?
Not at this time.
Mayor?
Yes.
In relation to safety and with finance, I talked to Ernie about it just now. I would like us to call a meeting, finance meeting, along with safety, to undertake Mr. Sagan's request to hire a detective. I think it should be discussed and set up a date that we can meet with him and council as a whole. Special meeting.
Anybody have any suggestions?
So,
Yes, George.
In reference to that, considering we're looking forward, not so much even this year, looking into next year and the year after and stuff like that, I think it might be prudent for us to see if Jags can get with him and get us some preliminary type numbers as far as what we're going to need as far as expenses to maintain current staff, as far as funding for general fund.
Close out
This way we
year
can
and look
see
forward to
this year and the
that.
next year, maybe a little into the third, if we can, so we have some numbers to kind of see where we're at. This way we can then look into the appropriation. That would be my recommendation. So we have those to have those at that discussion. Because otherwise we're just throwing numbers out and we don't really know. And that would not be good for us.
Wages, healthcare, everything like that that needs to be taken into
PRS.
consideration as well.
Have you researched that, Joe, to see, do you have a number?
I'll look at it, we'll get together.
But as far as I'm talking about the entire general fund. Every department out of that fund, we gotta have that so we can see and projected as far as revenue. Rough projection, not like, specific, but, rough, something to go off of.
This isn't a committee meeting, this is council as a whole.
council as a whole, yeah. Do we want to set a date up now or
I
later?
don't know another timeline to get that ready for us. I don't know if it'd be 1 week, 2 week.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't know.
I'm saying, somewhere down the road that we can.
Yeah.
I'm on vacation the end of this month, just
When-
FYI.
when, Jody?
I'll be leaving like Friday the 27th, and I'll be gone that following week, coming back like October 5th.
So George, what you want Joe to get you some numbers and Jaggers get you some numbers?
Yeah, so the general fund, we can know an approximation with the pay increases, with the contract, to see how that's gonna affect the general fund. And possible, of course, revenue is so hard to go out, but we can get like a real rough number to see what we could possibly be looking at.
Well-
That's a starting point.
You wanna go with
Meeting and
the,
go an hour before.
That's what I was
And
just
should we
going to
ready for next
suggest.
council meeting?
October 8th.
That's what I was going to suggest. We're meeting on the 24th at 7. Can we have a meeting then at 6? Jags?
What day?
6
6
o'clock
p.m. on the
for the next
24th.
meeting, 24th?
Yeah.
We'll have a meeting before, at 6 o'clock on the
Oh, you're
24th.
talking about September.
Huh?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Finance meeting.
December, Jags.
Mayor, could I comment one thing on safety?
Sure.
The on-ramp on Route 7 off of Logan Commercial here, where that sinkhole is, that whole hillside's going, they need to put more concrete barriers south of that slip. Somebody's gonna go over that hill, and that's at least
I can't
75,
believe
80
they have
foot
not
drop.
come down, we've talked to them once
That's
already.
right, he did mention, they
Yeah.
said they were going to take care of that.
Yeah, well, they're gonna take care of it.
We don't wanna press
Doesn't
it.
matter when.
Yeah, I thought they was gonna do it this year, okay, and I don't wanna press them too hard because they did me a favor by taking everything north of our last house. Cause that really would kind of be hard, there's gonna be about $500,000 to do that, at least that, they estimate that. Once they start down pilings, then, that's pretty far down,
Right.
because of that railroad there, with the mill and all that sitting there.
I saw the Tide Justice, he said that they're talking about closing that on-ramp.
Yeah, they can't.
They will when they're working on it, I think.
Well, when they're working on it.
Next year.
But they should have come down this year, honestly. Like I said, I don't wanna look a gift horse in the mouth either and say, hey, where you guys at, And they say, well, okay, if you wanna work on it, you do it
Well,
yourself.
we tried to get them down, Jody Lynn, right, for the bridge up by St. Agnes Church. They said there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
Well,
well, it's the
meanwhile,
rebar's shown, but I
half
mean,
of
it
it's
is
broken
still-
off and everything.
You could patch that, we could patch
Yeah,
that.
right, I mean, at least they could come down and patch it.
But I don't know where we go with it. I'll try again, I'll see what we can do. Maybe an emergency, I don't want them closing that ramp, that's for sure.
If we press them, they dump that back in our lap.
Yeah, if they're coming back in our lap, guys, that's, like I said, that's estimates between 300,000 and 500,000, okay, to repair that. And then the left side's coming down too, so, that's gonna be another job that they're gonna hopefully take over, so.
All right, Jack, anything on service?
No, Mayor.
Adam, anything on lights and sidewalks or curbs?
Do have one, Jags, I told you about the one at the top of Carlisle, had a resident call me. I don't know if you had them go up.
It's on and off.
It's off and on. It comes on at like 3 a.m. It's not on till then. I think maybe is it the photo cell maybe is one of that. I don't know. But
I have it
if
over
you guys
there.
could have them look at that for lights, then I don't know where to bring up sidewalks or curbs, but
I think Timmy started doing some more curbs.
They are, yeah,
Yeah.
they're painting again.
Hey, Mark, I don't know if you could put anything in there about streetlights if
I don't know
if
if it was looking
residences
at it or not.
find a streetlight out.
Where did I go?
They were up on Churchill
Contact
too.
They're on Churchill.
clerk's
St.
office.
Clair.
Yeah.
Because they have to deal with our, solution center, it's, I think we all know what happened.
Boston.
Maybe that area that was bad.
one other thing there to go back to
Yeah,
all the
there
roads.
there by Garfield.
Those are
The
brand
Bassage
new.
on Eleanor, in the corner there by the burnout structure. They have, I think, a drain pipe that just comes out to daylight. He said he's ripping his hedges out, and he would like the village to look
Same way
at that
with
to see if they
Logan.
could
We did
connect
Hey,
it,
Bob,
so it could.
let's put Adam here on the train.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, that was my fault.
Vasage's up at the corner of, catty corner from John by the burnout structure on Eleanor. He says he's ripping his hedges out, and they have a pipe, like a drain pipe from the other villages that just comes in daylights, and he would like to see if the village could look at it and possibly connect it, because he'd like to cover that over now that he's getting his hedges out, he can maintain that. But if you could have Timmy or one of the guys look at that, just to see, at least, don't know that I alerted you
Okay.
of his request, so.
Right down in front of this house?
Yeah, right on the side, like the driveway to his garage behind the house, I believe, like you'll see it on that side.
It's actually
That
on
kind-
clear.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
George, anything on water and sewage?
Nothing additional at this time, Mayor.
Thank you. Jack, anything on recreation?
Yeah, Mayor, a couple things. I was at the cemetery Sunday. That big tree right there in Mitchell's, stone. One of the big limbs broke down, come down on the stones. I cleaned it all up, took it out of there. I did give you a price on some trees. That tree's getting pretty bad there. It's right there on the circle, on the right-hand side.
You want it down, we'll take it down.
Well,
Yeah,
I
we'll
just
take
want
it.
a stone broke or something.
Yeah, we'll take it down.
Since the park is closing, we probably should get that porta-johns out of
We are.
there. And, the
Take the other
restrooms.
ones, take the other ones up by your place,
Yeah,
yeah.
by my house, yeah. Yeah, Timmy, there's two more things at the park. I looked it up today. There's one this Sunday and one next Sunday.
Yeah.
Next Saturday.
Saturday?
The Veterans.
That's a
Veterans is on Saturday? I thought it was on a Sunday.
21st. What's that on? 21st is on a Saturday.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
what it is, whatever it is.
Peace
That-
Day.
Huh?
Peace
That should-
Day.
That should close it up.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
You gonna do that? Chip?
Between.
Yeah,
Call me.
we're still talking about what we're doing this year.
Oh, I do have one thing.
Anything?
I had people complain about the new bleachers. They can't sit down on the bottom row because it sits down too far close to the ground.
Put the kids.
No good deed goes unpunished.
I understand, well, hey, listen, if you would put a lawn chair over or something, they'd still have some
I
squats.
know, I had some complaints about them, I just tried to get something that was more convenient, able to move around, mobile, and,
They're easy to move around.
The insurance guy liked them.
Yeah.
I actually moved a whole set by myself.
Just tell them that's just for midgets to sit
I
up
know, I'm gonna say.
front. Case closed.
This is
Put
one-
midgets up
this is one of
front.
the guys from-
Discriminate.
This is one of the guys from Oz come up here.
Right?
Like call night challenge.
We probably should get them out of here pretty soon. though.
Yeah, we gotta put them somewhere, because somebody will steal them, honestly.
Well, they hit them with a car already.
I
so.
know.
All right, that's all I have, Mayor, thank you.
All right, thank you. Jody, anything on health and pension?
Yeah, I spoke with Frank Harmon. They have gone out for quotes. He's expecting them to get pricing back around October 1st. He'll be getting in contact with us. I asked him if he could give us any indication as to what kind of increase we can expect percentage-wise, and he said not yet. So it's going to be October, the beginning of October, before we really have any firm numbers.
Nothing on PHTA. Anything on organization, Adam?
No report in there.
George, anything on economic development?
One thing worth noting at this time, there's a, I think it's CDFA, might be one sponsoring it. There's a Opportunity Zone type conference down in Columbus. I think it's on the 26th. Don't quote me on that exact date. I'm going to try to make it down if I can. If I do make it down, of course, I'll report back to council as far as what it is. It's a one-day event. It's reasonably priced as far as their events go, which means it's still a little bit expensive because they're CDFA. But nonetheless, I'll try to go if I can. If I get the day off, hopefully we'll see. But I'll report back to council after the fact.
What is that, George?
It's a CDFA Opportunity Zone event. Yeah, it's more of a conference or more of a networking with conference or instructional. I'm not quite sure exactly yet. Just got information about it very recently. Don't know.
You ready to go, Marty? All right. Anything else, George?
Nothing at this time.
All right. Adam, anything on Rules Committee?
We had a meeting before the the council meeting. Last council meeting, we had a meeting right preceding it. We discussed a few of the points that we wanted to address, one of which actually came to fruition tonight, 2019-17, about changing the meeting dates. We started pulling a few things together as far as putting a actual document, compiling, rules of council. We have a few that we've identified, and we're still looking at, a higher revised code and what's already spelled out in there. But there's baby steps. We're working. It's not going to be anything that's done overnight. It's going to take a little while, but we'll probably I'll schedule a meeting at the next council meeting. We'll get back into it and keep building upon it.
When are we going to start approving of bills of
One
payments?
thing is, we just need to make the request.
I'd like to make that request.
Yeah.
That we be given a monthly expenditure report of what's being paid out, check number, who it's to, amount.
Jag, is that something you and Kim could provide? And I mean, how often, or maybe just at the end of 1 month, the
Yeah,
first
or-
meeting of the next month?
With the budget type thing. This way you have
Yeah.
the budget from the previous month. It also has an attachment of that previous month's expenses. Each individual one would be advantageous. Because one thing that came to light, of course, when you're a council member in one location, you kind of know how that one location kind of does things. You start talking with other people in other municipalities, and one thing that was brought to our attention, we talked to other people, different places, is a lot of places actually approve of individual expenditures or a listing of individual expenditures, whereas here, as council members, we're not provided that on a basis unless we actually go out and request that individually. So it's kind of, when we talked to other people, they thought that was atypical. We're like, well, this is how we kind of go about things. But in looking through code books and things like that, I can't find any language spelling out either way as being right or wrong. I guess is it more or less just our own culture of how we do things,
Your own-
pretty much? Yeah.
Your own discretion, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of different ways it's done. Some boards or places, they would approve something over a certain amount, that type of thing. I mean, it's hard to approve every little expenditure.
And we're not asking to have,
Yeah, to
to
approve
have a
it.
vote, to have approval vote. We just
Yeah.
want to see, hey, what
What's-
was spent
what's
through,
being
just so we
paid
have
out.
know what's been spent.
Because
you
when
know.
we're looking
And
at
if
the
there is
budget,
anything that's a red
and
flag, we
there's,
discuss
you
it.
know,
I was gonna say, because if you're gonna go and try to approve everything.
No, we're not. No,
No,
that's not where we're at.
We don't want that.
But there
That'd
was
be-
there was one finance meeting we had, and I don't think Jags was here, but I want to say it was the wastewater treatment plant. There was a big misnomer as far as what we expected there and what was there, and I'm sure the expenditures, it was just things got paid, but we didn't know what.
Yeah.
So the finance meeting kind of came to a standstill, and we really couldn't proceed because we didn't know where things stood.
That was when they took the CI, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still.
Out of the
we're still waiting
regular
for that
kind of
to
it.
come
Yeah.
back. We're still waiting for
So-
that to come back to get approval of the loan.
So that's where all this kind of came from.
Since we're borrowing things from other places, I know that everybody talks about Wintersville. How come their council meetings are 15 or 20 minutes and ours are 2 hours?
Oh, ours has been cut down to an hour. They used to be 2 or 3
But
hours.
why is theirs 15 or 20 minutes? They do everything within committee, right?
They do a lot
Before.
within committee, yeah.
Why can't we look at doing stuff like that? So our council meetings can be cut down to 15 and 20 in half an hour.
All right. Well, I could cut it down.
That report from the village administrator.
All right, let's move on now. Let's see.
Just something to think about.
Okay, any unfinished business? Yes.
I have one little thing just to add into what was said at the start of this meeting. I have no prepared statement. That's not what this is about. I just want to say that as far as what was mentioned as far as a council member taking it upon his own will to do a lot of good for the village is much appreciated, and a good job was indeed completed, and for that accolade is of course worthy. And I believe there was fullness of good intentions involved with that. I don't think there's any malicious intention or any real attempt at fault or misleading or anything like that. Although I do believe, and I do echo a little bit of Councilman Fitzgerald's sentiment, in that in hindsight, and of course council didn't know things were going on until after the fact type of thing, and we've had repeated executive sessions upon it, but I've been instructed not to call one, so I will not call one. I will instead do this in public session. When the Ohio Revised Code, it seems to be so blatantly honest in that section, and contract law seems to be that blatantly direct also. It's not just one thing, it's many things that appears that was the wrongful action. I hope resolution is brought from that at some point in some degree, whether that results in an actual investigation into this type of things. History will bear that out in due time, but I just want public to know a little bit. This has been a discussion behind the scenes a little bit. Council, it doesn't look at anybody as far as being malicious or intent to at all cause any harm upon anybody. That's not what this is about, but it's just something was done with good intentions that many council members believe was indeed the wrongful action, and that's where my stand is, and that's the route that, if necessary, I will progress in. But again, it's nothing against any individuals or any individual person at all whatsoever. Better than before.
I'd like to just come up back, okay, if anybody's gonna be blamed, I'll take the blame for this. This was in the paper, a job was put up for bid, or for a thing. Nobody applied for that job, okay? So, we went on, and it was like, okay, and it's the mayor's appointment for that job. Nobody wanted that job. Our village employees cannot take care of that job. We had volunteers and people in the past to do it, but Harry, just like you got sick this year. And we appreciate what you did in the past, you and Psyche. And you had 3 kids apply for a job up there, and they would never show up. They'd come and go as they wanted to. And that was gone for years, because I ran the park for years, and kids are just, whenever they want to show up, they show up. And you're up there calling people out, looking, trying to clean it up. But I'll take the blame for it. We're not gonna blame, and just like George says, no one's at fault here, but if we made a mistake, I'll take the blame for it. And I'll give it credit again, and and Bob did too, had so many compliments on that park. It looked real good. And, everyone says, you got the nicest park in the valley, and I'm gonna stand by that. And that's one of our shining spots, and I'll always say that. So let's move on from here, okay? And another thing I'd like to say, Jeff, I want to thank you for your sponsoring the concerts up there. You did a good job. I mean, we learned from, about advertising and what have you, but I appreciate you sponsoring that up there. We didn't get the crowds we thought we'd get, but you had some good people show up, people missed some good shows up there.
Good concerts, very good concerts.
They missed some good shows up there, and I told them that. And another thing, I'm gonna go back and say, we're working with minimum employees around here. From the police, fire, service, water, sewage. They do a heck of a job, and I'll say this every day, and I've said it before. And we get criticized, and I'm not gonna say enough about Bob, because there's a lot of things he does behind the scenes that nobody knows what's going on. Nobody has a clue what's going on. And I appreciate, and there's things that, is going on in this village, and hopefully everybody can notice some things going on that are getting done. But I would appreciate everybody's, what everybody does around here. So on that note, we're gonna go with you, Harry. You have anything?
Nothing.
No? Marina Mayor, you have anything?
Only thing I have is one thing.
State your name.
Huh?
State your name.
Who are you?
Marina Mayor.
Anybody know? Fred Pernick, 2018 Commercial Avenue, south end of Mingo. That's unrecognized.
Jake Brake.
Anyhow,
Jake Briggs.
what I gotta say, what I gotta say about city workers, a couple of guys approached me the other day, or last week, when they was cutting grass. We have an ordinance on the stool dog stool?
Yeah, they have to pick it up.
There's something out there.
Yes, there
We
is.
do have ordinance, right?
Yeah.
Well, the guy was all
Police
splattered
officer.
with it, and I felt bad for him, you know. He smelled bad, and that was a dirty shame. He said, downtown, we're still having that problem. You're having the problem up there where the memorial is for the school. Same thing, they walk their dog up in that area, city workers gotta cut that. And I know what they went through, because I had the problem with a person down my way. Seemed like that dog walked a half a block and didn't know where to go. So I had to stop her. I said, "You like your dog?" She said, "Yeah." Well, I said, "If you like your dog, you ain't gonna have it long." So anyhow.
Why did I call
What I'm getting at-
Yeah, we're not run out yet.
Yeah,
Next.
I think your time's up, the egg's boiled.
I'm gonna speak up for you guys. I know what you're going through. Something's gotta be done with these people. So I put the word out, up the high rise. I said, city workers are not too happy with you people walking your dog around here. So I don't know if that helped or not, so I was trying to help her.
Well, we
And I got another
appreciate your
problem with
concern,
these
Fred.
sand trucks. Bob,
What do you want me to do with them?
hit the Jake brake again. I got one guy, he's driving an old Mack truck with a big cow catcher on the front. I think he's a cowboy. And you gotta put that Jake brake on, because he's flying north to get back to go up on Route 7. And why they do this at night, I don't know. They're flying about her at night.
The thing is, Fred, we can't do nothing about
You
that.
can't do anything on the highway, but possibly on commercial.
But
If they're doing it on commercial, they do it on the highway.
They're carrying 20 ton.
Hey, if I could do something about those trucks, I would do it. I don't want them on my road.
I understand that, you can't stop them because that bridge, I mean, that bridge, they're making that new bridge. But the point is this, they gotta slow down, that's all it's doing. They
I
have
don't
to
think
slow
that
down.
is.
I don't know what their big
We
hurry
sit down
is.
there, they know what they do, get on the radio,
Yeah,
push
Joe?
it.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah.
When we sit there, they get on the radio, they're letting the 4 or 5,
They
they
gotta
come down
slow
the
down.
convoy. They slow down, we're out
Well,
there,
I
they
mean,
get on the radio.
I just go out there and stop them, you know, I mean,
We had the cameras, we would be in the cruiser, we had.
Like Tiananmen Square, huh?
All right, thank you, Fred. You're doing a nice
I
job
want
down
them
there.
flash next time.
I appreciate what you're
These
doing
Liverpool's
down there.
pathetic on the highway with this camera. I mean, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I went right by
I'm
someone.
here for a.
Pat,
I'm
you have
saying for
anything?
all.
Ms. Tremblay, you have
hey
anything?
Joe, can you put the word down where they
Yeah,
go
next
out?
to you?
Yeah, we tell them, but they.
You have anything?
I do actually. I'm Ryan Cullen. I live on 307 Grandview. I live at the very end of the street, so it's a dead end street. And the parking situation has become an issue. I can barely get out most of the time, I'm all up on the curb. And I am gonna ask the city if they would paint one side of the street yellow, so there's only parking on one side. I would recommend and request that it be the opposite side of the street of my house. And the reason being, there's a drop off on that side, so if you would park on that side, open your door, my kids are gonna fall down the hill. So I would request as a safety issue and to get in and out of there. I come the other day to pull into my house and the guy beside me decided he's gonna park right next to my car where I can't even get into the street. So I had to come down to the police station. The cops had to go up and ask him to move, and it's just,
I
It's
agree 100%.
ridiculous at this
It's a
point in
safety
time.
issue
It
if we
is.
can't get a fire truck or ambulance.
if my kid falls down the
Where-
steps and breaks her neck and I need an ambulance,
That's what I was
there's no
gonna say, where
possible
does she
way.
live compared to Millie?
Yeah, there's no possible way, an ambulance, a fire truck, we had a fire in our house the other day. I come out, and we took care of it ourselves, but if we would've needed a fire truck there, our house is gonna burn down, my kids and my animals are all gonna die because
So you're asking for
Person
a,
beside
yellow
us.
on,
it'd be the side closest to the highway, because it drops down on the very end of.
We need to put signs up.
So this is after the turn, after your mom's house,
Yes,
right?
yes, it's the very end, it's the 300 block,
Okay.
yes.
do we need a safety committee to look at that, or?
I was gonna say, you guys, when you give us a list, okay, and I will give it to Tim.
I was gonna say, you know, we've done Logan, we've done Union, we've done,
Okay, but give us a list of what you guys want
And the
done,
other side, which
okay?
Candace house used to be.
I mean, I know that we talked about going up there, and I remember one street you wanted to park on one
Madison
side, and
Avenue.
and halfway through you wanted to park on the other side. Give us a list, and I will make sure that we get something done.
I painted
Oh,
down.
by the way,
Or
did
signs.
they get any?
Well, the signs are very ineffective because we
Really,
have
the
young
signs aren't good?
drivers that don't realize that each block is a different sign, so they think the whole street you can't park on that side, which is, I think, partially created the issue that we have. Because the 200 block, you can't park on the side that we actually need to park on, but 300 block, you need to park on that side because of the safety issue of falling out of the car. Okay,
Thank you, Mariah.
thank you.
I did paint down there across the street so that fire trucks, so nobody will park there.
But as it goes on, and I know that you're saying, you can put yellow lines, paint, or curve wherever you want to. I mean, people don't not pay attention to these. People do not pay
Start
attention.
toning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one,
We'll start toning.
just going up,
Remember we had that conversation
Yeah,
before?
we had the,
going up St. Clair.
but I remember after 4 years, I asked to sit there up the price of some tickets because it's $10 and they
There's
don't,
three
we have to have a consequences for it.
places.
And I have consequences if I have a secretary that, after 3 days, they don't pay the ticket, we send it to the district and county court. Attorney Gladys up there prosecuting.
Going up St. Clair, there's, I believe, three pull-off spots
Yeah.
for people coming off the hill. They're being parked there.
Yep.
There's no room to pull off, and then you're having people get upset with you when you can't pull over.
Well, they painted that all today.
It's been painted a couple days, I was gonna say, because it's,
Yeah, they were up there today. Paul was up there.
All right, thank you, Mariah, they're gonna look into that.
Thank you.
Who's sitting next to you? It's getting bad.
I know.
You don't want to say nothing?
Western, they're all getting bad.
Marty, you have anything?
Yes.
A lot of younger people with multiple vehicles.
Mayor, I'd like to volunteer council. When I got back and was getting involved in some of the projects here where Bob's looking for getting the funding for the equalization tank, that big project. Went back through some of my notes and I found that, one of the CDBG low-income grants, actually would be a great fit for this, and because we're so close with some of the engineering and other things to be able to do things. Anyway, so I went back through my notes and I found that the one gap that we haven't done for a while, that right now we wouldn't qualify for it, is what's called an income survey. Mingo right now sits at what's called 46% LMI, low and moderate income. Now I know census stuff is always wrong. I mean, it's wrong like 20 points. When I did one that looked down in George's Run, we went from low on LMI to 60+% LMI. Probably could have gotten to 70 if I kept on doing the survey. So bottom line is I'd like to volunteer to get a plan together, do a LMI survey for all of Mingo and factor in George's Run, because that's part of the service area for all this. And the good thing about it is that that survey is good for 5 years. So anything in the future that we might want to find some fun or get, whatever, as long as you have a valid LMI, the state blesses, survey, it's good. So I'd like to try to get a plan together and bring it back to council next meeting and go ahead and do that. I'll do the work. It just, the only really other pocket cost would be mailing and some copies and stuff like that. It's probably a survey about 400 or 500. I had to look back through how many based on households you'd have to do, but that kind of thing. But I'd be glad to do it. I did this short run, but that was, I know that I know how to do it. So if the council's interested, again, it makes you instantly, it's a tool. It's a qualification factor you have to have. Right now, Mingo does not qualify it. Right now, again, it's 46%. I know it's wrong. So, anyway. And also, Georgia, glad we look into that. October.
Thank you, Marty. Council could get together and discuss it and get back to you. We appreciate that.
Just free money's better than.
Yep.
Get it where you get it.
Bob, you have anything? Mark, you have anything?
No.
No.
People won't say nothing. How come? You won't ask
I'm
them?
like a sponge, I just absorb it.
Good news is good news.
Yes, we do.
I'd like to speak on behalf of the residents of Elmer Street and Vine City. They appreciate the block party. It was a good time. Neighbors got along great, and we had a good night, thank you.
I heard it was a good time.
It was a great time.
That's where I
Let
was.
us do that.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I have one quick thing. Bob, if anybody has any extra trees, Veterans Memorial would be a good place to put one. We were talking last meeting. Or the clock tower. And also, when I spoke of Holly's Corner, I omitted John Slivka's name. He also helped with that project, so I just want to rectify that. That's all. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
There were people up there putting mulch down the other day, Balcos, they were up there the other day putting mulch down.
Mhm.
And I thanked them.
We'll be over there Saturday, 10 o'clock.
So with that.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
Shoots, Wheeler.
Yes.
Irvin. Yes. Chris Irvin.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Riddell. Whatever, got it.